My 29-year-old landlady. One is a hot-tempered and cold rich girl. The other is a poor and handsome guy. The two of them sparked love in the cruel world. Because the rich girl's father was threatened. She took a risk to save her father. Chapter 1: The Big Shot Who Changed My Fate. The year end is always so heartbreaking. I had been working on the construction site for 3 months, waiting for my wages. But the foreman ran off with the money, and I was left penniless. The biting cold wind hit my face, but I didn't feel the pain instead, I felt a deep sorrow. I'm a third-year student, about to graduate, but my mother is seriously ill. I gave up my studies at a prestigious university and went to the construction site, hoping to earn enough money with my own hands to cover my mother's medical expenses. But after over 3 months of hard work, I ended up with nothing, not a single penny. Some workers were silently smoking, while others sighed in frustration. The foreman had already run off, and our wages had become a distant dream. The workers went to demand their pay but were beaten by the security guards. As the year end approached, whether they had money or not, everyone had to go home for the new year, and the workers left, each returning to their own homes. I, however, didn't have enough money for a ticket. I had no choice but to stay here, hoping one day that foreman Liu Darling would come back and pay me the wages he owed. I had to get this money, it was my mother's life-saving money. The weather grew colder, and the piercing wind felt like knives carving into me. But I didn't feel the cold, I felt only despair. Suddenly, I heard the sound of laughter from some big shots. "Miss, let us go inside," said a pleasant voice. How could there be big shots on the construction site? The sound of their chatter was so delightful. I hurriedly stood up and walked out of the tent. I saw several big shots walking upstairs. They were going up to the 4th floor, all wearing high heels. I quickly ran up after them. "Come down. It's dangerous," I shouted. The women were startled by my voice, looking at me warily. One of the women took out her phone and aimed it at me. "Listen here, farmer worker, don't come closer. I'm recording you. If you try anything against us, we'll call the police." Another woman, about to go upstairs, stared at me in confusion. "Farmer worker." I looked down at my tattered coat, covered in cement. I had truly become a real farmer worker. This was a sharp contrast to the handsome guy I had been back in school, pursued by countless girls. "Farmer worker, don't be impulsive," she warned. I couldn't believe she thought of me as a dangerous person. "What are you going upstairs for? It's dangerous." The building had its framework completed, and to go up, you needed proper safety equipment. These women were so bold, and if they fell from the top, they'd be crushed to pieces. "Master, my design drawing was accidentally dropped on the floor above. It's very important, otherwise, we wouldn't risk going up," one of the women explained. "I'll go up. I'll get it for you." I started heading upstairs. The stairs were steep and dangerous. It was a 19-story building, and by the time I reached the rooftop, the icy wind stabbed my face like a knife. It hurt terribly. Looking down, the crowd below seemed so tiny. If I fell from here, I'd be a goner. I saw the drawing, which was a good distance away. I wanted to get it, but I was afraid of missing my step. There was a long piece of wood nearby, so I grabbed it and carefully pulled the drawing toward me. Once I had it in hand, I went back downstairs. As I reached the bottom, I overheard the women talking. "Miss, don't be too kind. This farmer worker is dangerous. If he wants to sleep with us, we won't be able to fight him off." I was taken aback. I had kindly retrieved the drawing for them, and yet they spoke about me like that. "Liu Na, I don't think he's a bad person. His gaze is clean, like an educated person," one of the women said. I could tell she was the kind-hearted one. "Educated people don't do this kind of work, miss. We should still be cautious," Liu Na responded. As I reached the bottom of the stairs, apart from the women, all the other big shots held bricks in their hands, eyeing me warily. "Master, did you find the drawing?" one of them eagerly asked. "Yes," I said, handing it to them. "There are no workers left on the site." "Why aren't you going home?" the woman asked. Her question hit me hard. Tears almost welled up in my eyes. Everyone wanted to go home for the new year to reunite with their families. But I had no money, nowhere to go, and couldn't even afford the bus fare. Chapter 2: Rebirth from the Flames. I hurriedly changed the subject. This place is not safe. You shouldn't come here. Let me walk you out. The woman seemed to want to ask more but hesitated. As I was walking the big shots out, something happened. Just as we were walking out of the door, a heavy stick struck my head. I heard a loud crack. The stick broke, and everything went black. My legs went weak, and I collapsed to the ground. Then came the big shot screams. I felt a thick, sticky blood flowing from my head. I felt like a dying dog, unable to move. The footsteps slowly faded away. I was worried about the big shots, my heart bleeding. A breath was caught in my chest, unable to rise or fall. I knew that if I couldn't breathe, I would die. Was I really going to die like this? I couldn't accept it. The sound of the big shot screams still echoed in my ears. I couldn't just die like this. I needed to save them. But I couldn't get up. Let go of me. The big shots' desperate cries reached me, their painful voices striking my heart. I kicked the man who was grabbing the big shot's clothes. He staggered and fell to the ground. Run! Big shots! I shouted. The big shots panicked and ran outside. I kicked at the other men. Liu Nai's pants got pulled off, and her bare skin was exposed. Run! I yelled again. Liu Na and the other women ran out. At that moment, the group of thugs realized what was happening and chased after them. I held the sides of the door with both hands, trying to block them. They were like mad dogs, swinging their sticks and beating me crazily on my head and body. It hurt so much that I thought my skull might crack open. Blood poured from my head. My vision went dark, and my body grew weaker. Was I going to die like this? I was only 28, my life just beginning. I thought I was going to die, but I didn't. Instead, I encountered a big shot who would change my fate, Lin Wei. On the 28th day of the lunar month, I slowly opened my eyes. Through the hospital window, I saw the first snow of the year in Leju City. I thought of my mother back home. You're awake. Lin Wei's voice, holding back tears, trembled as she grasped my hand. Her fair, soft hand warmed my heart immediately. Thank goodness you woke up. You scared me so much. You've been lying here for 2 days without opening your eyes. Thank you for saving me. I'll repay you for the hospital bills. I tried to sit up, but my body ached all over. Chapter 3, Nowhere to Go. I knew the hospital fees for even one more day would be steep, and I couldn't afford to stay any longer. I had to leave this place, it was too expensive. It was you who saved us. I should thank you. If you hadn't kicked open the door that day, my sisters and I would have been finished. Don't worry about the money, consider it my repayment to you. I want to leave the hospital. Leave the hospital? You're not even better yet. By the way, what is your name? Yi Chen. And you? I'm Lin Wei. Here is your phone. Lin Wei handed me my phone. I took the phone and looked at it carefully. The battery was nearly full. How is my phone still charged? I charged it for you. Oh, by the way, you've got a few missed calls. They are from your mom. I didn't answer them, I was afraid she might misunderstand. Should you call her back? Lin Wei asked. Hearing my mother's name made my heart ache. I was afraid to call her. How could I tell her about my situation? I could only lie, but it's a grave sin for a child to lie to their mother. Since my mother got sick, my father had run off with another big shot, leaving her alone at home. I was her only support, her only hope. How could I lie to my mother? The thought made my heart ache even more, and tears almost fell. What's wrong? Are you in trouble? If there is anything, just say it. I'll help you. When she said that, my heart felt even heavier. Thank you, sister. At that moment, my phone rang. The screen displayed, Mom, and my heart clenched. Answer it, why aren't you picking up? Lin Wei asked. Since Lin Wei was there, I had no choice but to answer the call. Son, it's almost the new year. Why aren't you coming home? My mother's voice cracked, and she started crying. Mom, I want to come home this new year. I'm working here, trying to earn money to treat your illness. Son, come home. I'm not getting treatment anymore. There is no point in treating it. My heart hurt even more. I tried to hold back my tears, but they flowed freely. Lin Wei noticed me crying and became even more anxious. She took a handkerchief from her bag and handed it to me. The scent of lilies wafted through the air, and that fragrance etched itself deep into my soul, unforgettable. Mom, I'm not coming home for the new year. I want to earn more money. You still need treatment, you can't stop now. Son, really, I'm not going to get treated anymore. If you can, try to come back. I miss you so much. More tears streamed down my face. Mom, there are still events at school. I plan to apply for a scholarship, so I won't be coming back this year. I'll come back when I have money. Don't call again, the phone bill is expensive. I'm hanging up now. Okay, you have to study hard. Make something of yourself. I will. I hung up, feeling even more desolate. How I wish I could go back to school. But I didn't have any money, and my mother had already cut off my allowance. I lied to my mother, telling her my scholarship was enough to cover my expenses, so she wouldn't send me any money. But as a college student, I had no salary. I had to rely on my own hands to earn a living. Thinking about this, I felt even more hopeless, and tears fell again. Yi Chen, don't cry. You're a man, you need to stay strong, no matter what. What trouble are you facing? Tell me, I'll help you. Really, you don't need to, sister. I just want to leave the hospital, I can't stay here any longer. I suddenly sat up. Though my body still hurt a lot, I gritted my teeth and pushed through. Lin Wei's words inspired me. I'm a man, I have to be strong. I can't cry like the big shots. I need to stand tall and strong. How did you get up? Lin Wei asked, looking at me with concern. Sister, I want to leave the hospital. I can't stay here for another minute. Besides, it's almost New Year's, and I don't want to spend it here. Actually, I was completely lying. If I had the money, I wouldn't be leaving the hospital. My body was still weak. Alright, since you want to leave, I'll help you with the discharge procedures. I followed Lin Wei out of the hospital. The biting cold wind hit me like a knife, cutting into my bones. I shivered, feeling unbearably cold. This cold wasn't just physical, it was the coldness in my heart. As a man, living like this, how much bitterness must I feel inside? Chapter for Wondering. I sat in Lin Wei's red Porsche. It was the first time I had ever sat in such a nice car, and I was even a little nervous. I sat in the passenger seat just to play with the toys, but I was afraid of getting the seat dirty because I was still wearing the clothes of a migrant worker. Where did you go? Take me to the construction site. To the construction site. It's almost the new year, what are you doing there? She asked. I felt sad. Other families gather together for the new year, eating and drinking, and having a great time, but I am alone. I can't even have a good meal. How am I going to spend this year? Let's go to Yander. I have the key to the dormitory. Yankai University. So you are a student of Yankai University. How can you go to the construction site? I used to be, but now I am not. What's wrong? I don't miss it anymore. You are just talking nonsense. How can you not study? Yander is such a good university. How outstanding must one be to be admitted? It will be easier to find a job after graduating from Yander in the future. Sister, I really don't miss you anymore. Please stop trying to persuade me. I think you are just being stupid. You have to study. You don't have money, so I'll get it for you. Lin Wei's words warmed my heart. Tears started to flow again. Sister. That's really not necessary. I want to earn money through my own efforts. Lin Wei parked the car in front of the gate of Yander University, only to see that the gate of Yander University was closed. Sister, you go back. I opened the car door and got out. The cold wind was biting and I was shivering all over. I quickly ran to the door. Lin Wei drove away in her Porsche. There was no one in the security room. It was almost Chinese New Year. The school was closed for the holidays. There was no one there at all. I was suddenly in a dilemma. I decided to go to the construction site. At least I would have a place to sleep. The biting cold wind stung my body. I felt like a child without a home or a mother. Walking on the cold streets of Lido, my heart was in pain. I went to the construction site again and entered my shed. There were gunshots outside. Every household was celebrating the new year. And yet, I was lying alone in the shed. How miserable. I really want to call my mother who is far away, but I am afraid that if I hear her voice, I will burst into tears. I put the phone down again. As a top student at Yenching University, am I at my wits' end? I spent the new year alone. It was a very miserable time. I cooked some noodles with chili sauce, which was my most sumptuous New Year's Eve dinner. Lin Wei sent me a WeChat message. Xiaoqiang. There are many people at home during the new year. I can't bring you home. I'll give you a red envelope. Then a red envelope of 500 yuan came. Looking at this red envelope of 500 yuan, my heart suddenly became excited. However, I thought, I can't accept her red envelope. If I accept her red envelope, I will lose face. Sister, I have money, I don't want your money. Keep it. Do you have little spare money? No, I can't take your money. My family is here now, and I have to spend the new year with them. I'll come to see you after the new year. You should collect the money quickly. 500 yuan is so important to me now, it can help me have a good new year and buy some delicious food. But this is not my money. I can't take the solution. No matter what Lin Wei said, I didn't accept the red envelope. I starved to death. A man must have backbone, especially a man. How can you ask for money from a big boss? I am looking forward to the new year being over soon, so that I can go out to work and earn money for my mother's medical treatment. I can't even afford to eat now. How can I afford to pay for my mother's medical treatment? If a person can live without eating, I would rather not eat. Why do we celebrate the Chinese New Year? Why is the Chinese New Year so long? It was too cold in the shed. Since the construction team had been disbanded, there was no coal for heating, and I had burned all the wood that was needed. I lie here every night, shivering with cold. I was walking along the brightly lit streets, trying to find a job that would give me a place to stay, even if it didn't pay me. I'm like a stray dog, wandering around. Chapter 5: A Place to Stand. Since it was the Chinese New Year, people would set off firecrackers from time to time, which scared me occasionally. The streets were decorated with lights, tall buildings, and thousands of lights. There are thousands of houses in Guangxia, but there is not even 1 inch of space for me to stand. I am just a passer-by working here. My beautiful ideals were crushed to pieces by reality. Suddenly I saw a restaurant open for business. And it had a lot of customers. I walked in with a try-it attitude. The waiter saw me in a messy outfit and thought I was coming in to eat. He hurried over to me. Little brother, the food here is very expensive. The waitress was a pretty girl with bright eyes and smart eyes. She said worriedly for me. I'm not here to eat, I want to ask about your servant. Would you like to be a waiter? I nodded. I asked the boss, and he said he was hiring people, so you should have a chance of becoming a waiter. I nodded humbly. Okay, wait a minute, I'll go in and find the boss. The waiter left quickly. At this time, a graceful lady came out of the house. She was wearing a red cheongsam, and her graceful body outlined her plump figure in a very sexy and charming way. Every time the boss took a step, the split of the cheongsam would reveal his fleshy legs in silk stockings. It was so provocative. I was so hungry that my eyes turned green. Although the boss was so sensitive. Because of hunger, I only had one thought, which was to fill my stomach. When people are hungry, they only have one thought, to fill their stomachs. Once they are full, they have many thoughts. All the troubles are caused by being full. Do you want to be a waiter? The proprietress looked me up and down carefully. I nodded. We offer 2,000 yuan a month plus commission. Do you think it's okay? Yes, yes, yes. Any job is fine. As long as I have enough to eat. Come with me. The big guy twisted his waist and walked inside. I followed him upstairs. This hotel has 3 floors in total. The first and second floors are where the hotel entertains guests. The third floor is for accommodation, which should be where the boss's wife lives. She led me directly to the third floor, where the room was warm. My body had never been so warm before. I had been frozen stiff these days, but I felt comfortable immediately after being warmed by this temperature. When I reached the third floor, I felt even warmer and felt more comfortable. Your clothes are not good. They affect the hotel's image. I have the hotel's uniforms here. You can go to my bathroom to take a shower and shave. There are razors in the bathroom. Then change into the uniforms. Thank you, boss. I said hurriedly. In fact, the boss is very good at running a restaurant, and even the waiters pay attention to their image. I took the suit and went to the bathroom. The bathroom was filled with a moving fragrance. There was also a dense smell in the bathroom. I turned on the warm water and poured it over my body. I felt a wave of comfort and my body immediately warmed up. This was the first time in these days that I felt the warmth of my body. Although I was still injured and it was a bit painful to be drenched in water, I still persevered. The injury has almost healed, but not completely. This little pain was nothing to me. I took a shower happily. I looked in the mirror and found that my beard had grown very long, so I shaved it carefully. Suddenly I found myself to be quite handsome. Logically speaking, I am really a handsome guy. I cleaned myself up, changed into a waiter's uniform, and came out of the bathroom. The boss lady didn't come downstairs. She was sitting on the sofa drinking tea. Actually, she was waiting for me. When I came out of the bathroom, the lady boss looked at me as if she didn't recognize me. Her eyes were bright and full of surprise. I didn't expect you to be so handsome, the proprietress asked in surprise. Chapter 6 Contractor. I felt embarrassed when she said that and didn't know how to answer her. Come and sit down. Have some tea first. In fact, I was already starving, and I didn't dare to drink tea. After drinking tea, I was even hungrier. I didn't even have breakfast. But the aroma of tea still attracted me. I usually don't have the opportunity to drink this kind of tea. No, Madam Boss, you should assign me some work, and I will still do my job. No hurry. Please sit down and let's chat. The proprietress's scarlet lips were particularly beautiful. She was as charming as a queen, and most importantly, very sexy. Being with this guy is very comfortable. May I have your name? My name is Yi Chen. Take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Boss, please assign me some work. Are you in such a hurry to work? I nodded. I was so hungry that I wanted to eat something, even if it was just some restaurant leftovers. Suddenly I saw a cat in the corner. There were 2 sausages in front of the cat. The cat didn't even eat them. It just lay there lazily. When I saw the cat and the food, I swallowed my saliva. Damn it. It's so unfair that even cats eat better than me. A wave of attractive fragrance came to me. It was the body odor of the boss lady. Although I was very hungry, I still had some reaction. After all, men and women are 2 different animals. They are attracted to each other. And they both have a certain magnetic field. So when men get along with big men, they can't help but be attracted to each other. Our restaurant opens at 9 a.m. We don't have time to get off work at night. Sometimes we want to work until 1 or 2 in the middle of the night. But we get overtime pay. Can you hold on? Asked the proprietress. If it's too late at night, can I stay here? Yes, of course. If you want to live here, you can do so every day. However, our living environment is poor. When the restaurant closes, you can sleep in the private room using chairs as beds. The proprietress said with some embarrassment. I was in a good mood because I could live here. I finally solved my accommodation problem. I nodded very happily. Then I quit the restaurant. I was very hardworking. At least I was provided with food and shelter. I wouldn't starve to death for the time being. My life was more or less secure, and I could earn money. The boss lady was also very nice to me. I also received messages from Lin Wei from time to time. Because she is with her family now. She will see me after the Chinese New Year. I wanted to enjoy this comfortable life, but something went wrong. Maybe this is my fate. I was carrying dishes and walking towards a private room when I suddenly heard a very familiar voice. Liu Yu, as long as you follow me, I will let you eat delicious food and drink spicy drinks. Liu Darling's voice is very familiar to me. Even from a distance, I can tell it is his voice. Chairman Liu, you are back. You will definitely accomplish great things. A big boss's delicate voice came over. It was obviously a bit of coquettishness. It's okay. I have taken care of everything. I have nothing to worry about anymore. When the time comes, you can come and join me, and I guarantee that you will be very successful. Liu Darling said. At that time, this thought flashed through my mind. I finally found Liu Darling. He must pay me the wages he owed me. A surge of blood rushed to my head and I was overwhelmed. If he didn't owe me money, I wouldn't have had such a miserable year. This is the first time in my life that I have had such a miserable year, and it also made me hungry. I have been holding back my anger for a long time, and today it finally exploded. I walked in and slammed the dishes on the table. Everyone was stunned. Waiter, how the hell can you serve? People became furious. Liu Darling, it's time to pay back the money you owe me, right? It was only then that Liu Darling saw me. Oh my god, kid, when did I ever owe you money? Liu Darling asked disdainfully. You owe me salary. How could you have forgotten? Pay me back quickly. If you don't pay me back today, you can't even think of leaving this door. I was furious at the time. Oh my god. You think you're so capable? Do you want to be punished? Beat him up. If I, Liu Darling, stomp my feet here, the Leju will shake. And you're just a little kid. Why don't you let me go out? Liu Darling was not convinced at all. After all, he was big and strong. Besides, my small size puts me at a complete disadvantage compared to him. But I am passionate. I am already angry and want to fight. Fighting does not depend on size, but on ruthlessness. Chapter 7 Hard-Earned Money. Do you dare to do it? Today I must get back the hard-earned money for my mother's medical treatment. If I get this money, I will find a better hospital for my mother. Liu Darling, let me tell you, if you don't pay me today, you won't be able to leave this door. You deserve a beating. A thug came up and punched me in the face. I dodged. The punch didn't hit me. But, this guy was very fast. Another punch came at me and hit me hard in the eye. At that time, stars appeared in my eyes and I fell to the ground. You are so shameless. The thug kicked me. As soon as a fight broke out, people were called over, and the boss's wife also came over. Brothers, please don't do anything. He is young and ignorant. I apologize to you. The proprietress stopped them. Get out of the way. What kind of employee are you? I'll teach you a lesson. I fell to the ground and felt my eyes swollen. I opened my eyes and saw Liu Darling standing in front of me, arguing with the boss lady. The lady boss smiled at him, hoping that the big thing would be small. The small thing would be nothing. They wanted to beat me, but were stopped by the boss's wife. You can't fight anymore, please do it for my sake. It's New Year's Day, said the proprietress. You made me unhappy during New Year's Day. Liu Darling looked up and down at the boss and the boss's wife. No, he is young and ignorant, still a child. I'm telling you. Just fire him. If you don't, I'll close your restaurant. How can you, a great nobleman, get angry at us, the lowly people? The lady boss said with a flattering smile. I knew he did all this for me. The proprietress is nice. This place is big enough. Liu Darling touched the proprietress's towering figure, and the proprietress hurriedly dodged. Chairman Liu, please stop making trouble. This is not good. The lady boss smiled and her cheeks turned red. She was a little embarrassed. Har, the proprietress is quite shy. How about this, you stay with me for one night, and then we'll put this matter behind us. If you don't stay with me for one night, you can forget about opening this restaurant from tomorrow on. I'll see who dares to come to your restaurant to eat. I'll beat up anyone who comes. Liu Darling said very domineeringly. This is not good. Look at my age. You won't like me. I just like the smell of you. You still have the charm. Liu Darling said with a wicked smile. Chairman Liu, I have always respected you. Have you drunk too much? The proprietress asked unhappily. How about we go upstairs now? Liu Darling wanted to reach out his hand. Chairman Liu, please don't insult me. I hope you won't go too far. The proprietress immediately frowned. Oh my god. What? You don't want the face I gave you? Liu Darling asked angrily. Have some respect. Okay. You're so cruel. You don't accept it, right? Now you can't open your restaurant. Army, drive all the guests out of the restaurant. Liu Darling was arrogant. I was furious at the time. I couldn't stand being oppressed by them. I exploded immediately. I took out a bottle of beer from the beer box and smashed it on Liu Darling's head. Bang! Liu Darling's head suddenly split open, and the beer bottle broke. Beer and blood flowed out of Liu Darling's head. Liu Darling immediately fell into a pool of blood. The boss was so scared that he screamed, and the boss lady was also frightened and trembled. When these strong men saw me taking action, they all came towards me and beat me. I picked up the beer and threw it at their heads. I was guarding the beer box. There were bullets everywhere. Although I am a little thinner than them, I practice every day and have some skills. Plus, I have a weapon in my hand. I quickly knocked down the man who came with Liu Darling. I smashed 6 beers. I beat them all to pieces. They fled in panic. Several women were so frightened that they screamed and even peed themselves. I don't hit big guys. The boss lady saw how ruthless I was. She was so scared that she trembled all over. Yi Chen is in trouble. You are in big trouble. It's okay. Don't worry, Madam Boss, I won't cause any trouble for you. I can get away with it if I can. That's not what I meant. I mean, you messed with the wrong people. I didn't care about that anymore. I came to Liu Darling, grabbed her, and lifted her up. Chapter 8 Security Uncle. Give me the money, or I'll beat you to death. I held a beer bottle in my hand. Liu Darling was immediately shocked by me. Don't rush forward. Liu Darling was shaking with fear. When he saw me holding the bottle of wine in my hand, he was a little scared. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's talk it over. I suddenly realized that everyone in this world is a monster. Everyone is afraid of violence. Civilization can never defeat barbarism. Will you pay me or not? I held a broken beer bottle in half and pointed it at Liu Darling's face. Liu Darling was terrified. I felt really good. Liu Darling was actually so scared of me. Yi Chen. I don't have it now. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Liu Da was stunned. Yi Chen, let him go. The lady boss came over and pulled me back, fearing that someone might get killed. He owes me wages. I yelled. Calm down. It would be a crime if you continue like this. Because of this bloody scene, the boss's wife was afraid that something might happen to me. She hugged me. I followed her trembling chest, which also warmed me. My coldness was relieved. Then she pushed me aside. Don't worry, I will give you the money tomorrow. Will you let me go? Liu Darling's arrogant attitude suddenly disappeared. If you don't bring me the money tomorrow, I will kill you. I said angrily. Okay, I'll bring it to you tomorrow. Just let me go. Liu Darling was completely scared. I let him go. As soon as they left, the boss lady took 10,000 yuan from the bar. Yi Chen, run quickly. Leave this city. Never come back. They are very cruel. It only takes a second for them to kill you. If you are caught by them, you are dead. The proprietress said in panic, obviously she was frightened by the bloody scene just now. At the same time, I noticed that her lips had changed color, her whole body was shaking, and her voice was trembling. I am quite satisfied with this job. At least I have a place to live. Since the boss lady said so, I can't let her down. Okay, boss lady, thank you for taking me in. I can't take this money. Here, this is your wages, said the boss's wife. We only paid 2,000 yuan a month plus commission. I haven't worked here for a few days. How can I ask for 10,000 yuan? You are in trouble now, take the money and run away. How can you run away without money? Hurry up, Liu Darling will definitely call someone. It's very dangerous for you to stay here with me. The proprietress stuffed the money into my hand anxiously. I wanted to give him the money back, but the lady boss pushed me out. Run quickly, the farther the better. I know the boss lady's name is Ju Dan. She is a very good boss. Madam, I will definitely pay you back when I have money in the future. What else are you going to change? Hurry up and run. What if they cause trouble for you? I asked worriedly. It's okay, don't worry. I can open a restaurant here, so I'm not an ordinary person. In fact, I am really worried about her. This trouble was caused by me, and if I run away after causing it, am I still a man? I don't want to leave. I want to protect you. Go quickly, you have to go, I'm fine. At this time, a taxi passed by. The proprietress hurriedly stopped the car and pushed me into it. Where are you going, brother? The driver asked. I don't know where to go now. In such a big city like Lido, there is no place for me to stand. I'll go back to the construction site. Liu Darling will definitely be able to find me. If they can't find me at their hotel, they will definitely come to the construction site to look for me. I think I'd better go back to school. See what the school is like. Let's go to Yander. So the driver started the car and drove forward without saying anything. I was at a loss, and at the same time I was worried about the boss lady, afraid that the gang would come back and take it out on her. But now I thought it was useless. Soon the taxi stopped in front of the gate of Yander University. I came here hoping for luck. I didn't know if I could enter the gate of Yander University. I was very lucky today. Uncle Wang from the security guard was there. He was stunned when he saw me. Yi Chen. What happened to you? You're covered in blood. Did you get into a fight? Fine. You kid, you didn't go home during the Chinese New Year. Are you living in the dormitory by yourself? When he said that, my heart ached. I almost cried. Who wouldn't want to go home for the New Year? But I didn't have any money. Chapter 9, Venting. My wife will bring me some dumplings later. I'll ask him to bring more. I'll make a call now so we can have a nice drink together. Thank you, Uncle Wang. His words moved me so much that I almost cried. I was really hungry, so when he mentioned dumplings, I swallowed my saliva. I just sat in the security room with Uncle Wang. There was no point in going back to the dormitory. This year has been very heavy in my heart. Uncle Wang picked up the phone and started to make a call. He probably wanted his wife to bring more dumplings. I was deeply moved by Uncle Wang's enthusiasm for the ancient road. Soon, Aunt Wang came with 2 insulated boxes. Because it was Chinese New Year, they had improved their lives and made dumplings stuffed with mutton. Aunt Wang gave away the dumplings and left. Come on. Wuji, eat dumplings, you drink, let's drink together. Uncle Wang took out some loose liquor. I was feeling very depressed and wanted to drink with him, so I didn't refuse. Uncle Wang poured me a glass of wine and also poured himself a glass. I opened the incubator and the aroma of the steaming dumplings reached my nose. I could only swallow my saliva. Eat, let's have a good drink. So I started drinking with Uncle Wang. This meal was the best meal I had during the Chinese New Year. I was very grateful to Uncle Wang. But when I went back to the dormitory to sleep at night, I was worried about the boss's wife. I really wanted to call her. But after thinking about it, I decided to forget it. I thought of Lin Wei. I really wanted to send her a WeChat message, but after thinking about it, I decided to forget it. It's impossible for her and I to be together. Lin Wei, a big shot with a good family background, is definitely not my kind of person. Just like Zhao Die and Lin Diyu can't have love, our birth determines our fate. Suddenly my cell phone rang. It was the boss's wife calling. I answered it hastily, thinking something must have happened. It's a good thing you left. They just sent 2 cars of people looking for you. You should hide quickly and don't come back. Where are you now? The proprietress' voice was very panicked. I'm at school. Just hide in the school. They don't dare to enter the school. Don't come out. If they see you, you're dead. I think the boss lady is a good person. It turns out that Liu Darling really hired someone to deal with me. Didn't I beat him into submission just now? I have been staying at school these days. It is safer and no one is bothering me. Suddenly, I received a WeChat message from Lin Wei on my phone. Yi Chen, come out. I was stunned after reading the message. Could it be that Lin Wei is here? Are you outside Yangmen Gate? I asked. Yes. Come out quickly, I'll take you to eat something delicious. When I saw Lin Wei's message, I was immediately delighted. He hurriedly ran out of the dormitory. Liu Qiang was in charge of security today. He saw the red sports car and looked at it. Such a good car, everyone likes it. See me come out happily. Yi Chen. The beautiful lady in the red sports car won't pick you up, right? It was a friend who picked me up. Okay, the goddess is very beautiful. You are very lucky. He was very envious of me. Seeing Liu Qiang's expression, my heart suddenly became happy, and at the same time I felt very confident. I walked out quickly and saw Lin Wei wearing big sunglasses. The car windows were down. The red sports car made her look even more beautiful. All my worries disappeared when I saw Lin Wei. I quickly opened the passenger door. A wave of moving fragrance came towards me. Lin Wei's scarlet lips are so beautiful and sexy. Do you miss me? She asked. I felt so sweet. At the same time, I nodded awkwardly. Tell me what you want, do you? You're a big man but your face is so small. Lin Wei asked coquettishly. I thought about it. After saying this, I felt my face getting particularly hot. Come on, I'll take you to eat something delicious. Today you can finally relax. Lin Wei started the car and drove quickly forward. I saw Liu Qiang in the rearview mirror. When I saw him standing behind us and looking at us, my heart suddenly felt proud. Who knew that something would happen when Lin Wei and I went out? Chapter 10 Rich Woman. Lin Wei took me to a high-end restaurant. There were a lot of seafood. For a poor person like me, I like to eat big fish and meat, and seafood is only loved by people who are full. I am a hungry person and prefer meat. Sister, let's not order seafood, let's order meat. I really want to eat meat. Since she is treating me, I won't be polite. Little fool. Seafood is more expensive than meat. Lin Wei said with a smile. A full man does not know the hunger of a hungry man. For a person like me, I should be thankful that I can eat enough meat. Sister, I'm allergic to seafood. I lied. Okay, you order. She handed me the menu. I took the menu and ordered pork elbow and ribs. I also ordered zilong babo. When I ordered these dishes, Lin Wei said, "Oh my god. It's all meat. How can I eat it? I'll order some stir-fried dishes." So she ordered 2 stir-fried dishes. When all the meat was served, I devoured it all in one swift motion. This is the best meal I've had this year. When Lin Wei saw me eating like this, she was stunned. She looked at me as if I were a monster. Look at how hungry you are. Why don't you take the money I transferred to you? How can I ask you for money? You are quite courageous. Lin Wei said with a smile, which made her look even more beautiful and charming. She is a kind and beautiful lady. I have a deep love for her. But this is just my unilateral thought. How could Lin Wei follow me? I feel very humble because I am poor. It is terrible to be poor. We were coming out of the restaurant. An iron rod came at me. I felt a cold wind on my back. I dodged and the iron rod hit my shoulder. Lin Wei screamed loudly. Fortunately, I dodged in time, otherwise the iron stick would have hit my head. I almost fell down, but I gritted my teeth and ran forward. A group of people were chasing me from behind. They must be Liu Darling's people. I ran as fast as I could. I heard Lin Wei screaming. I couldn't run. What if this group of people molested Lin Wei? I went back. I couldn't just leave Lin Wei and run away. I turned around. These people were hitting me with sticks. When two meet on a narrow road, the brave wins. I don't care now. I just rushed forward. At first I was hit a few times with the stick. I kicked the guy in the chest who was about to hit me with the iron stick because I turned around suddenly and caught him off guard. He was also very strong with the stick. The force of my kick was so strong that he flew up and fell to the ground, leaving the stick on the ground. Another guy hit me with an iron rod. I quickly picked up the iron rod on the ground and started fighting with this group of people. I was no longer afraid of death, so I was particularly eager to fight. I was very brave and soon defeated the group of people. Because I used too much physical strength, I was exhausted and fell to the ground. I had no strength left in my body. Fortunately, they were beaten by me and fled everywhere. Lin Wei was so scared that she was shaking all over and hid aside, screaming non-stop. She saw me fall to the ground and ran over to hold me up. Yi Chen, wake up. Are you okay? Sister, I'm fine. I'm just so tired that I have no strength left. I'm glad you're okay. Come on, let's get in the car. She helped me up. Her warm body instantly filled me with warmth. A warm current flowed through my blood. I stood up with the help of her weak shoulders, and at the same time I saw her towering breasts right in front of me. She was wearing a down jacket, but her curvy figure was still visible. I was so excited that I relaxed, and she helped me to the front of the car. Then we got in the car. Let's go to the hospital, Lin Wei said. No need to go to the hospital, you should just take me to school. I'll just lie down and rest for a while. How can I leave you alone in school like this? That's absolutely not possible. What if something goes wrong? I have to take care of you. Sister, I'm really fine. Why did that group of people beat you? Could it be the same group of people that day? She remembered the gang of thugs at the construction site that day. I don't know. I didn't tell her about Liu darling. How about this, let's go to my house. Sister. Is it convenient for me to go to your house? Aren't there many people at your house? The new year is over, and it's convenient now. Everyone who should leave has left, and I'm the only one left. So she started the car and drove towards her home. Lin Wei drove the car into the 2-story villa. I didn't expect Lin Wei to be so rich. Chapter 11 Thrilling. Anyone who can afford to buy a house in Leju, and a villa at that, is definitely not something that ordinary people can do. Yes, I remember Lin Wei worked in a real estate company, which should be very rich, because their design drawings fell on my construction site. After following Lin Wei into their house, the room was warm as spring. I'll find you some pajamas to change into, and then you go into the bathroom and take a shower. Your clothes are so dirty. Lin Wei found me a pair of pajamas. I looked at my clothes. They were really dirty. Because I can walk. Lin Wei asked me to take a shower. This is a clean boss. This is my dad's pajamas. I think you can wear it. Thank you, sister. I took the pajamas and went into the bathroom. There was a lovely fragrance in the bathroom, which instantly refreshed me. I took off my clothes and looked in the mirror. I saw scars all over my body. I couldn't take a shower because if I didn't wash properly, the scabs on my body would peel off. But Lin Wei asked me to take a shower. I had to take a shower because I was afraid of dirtying Lin Wei's house. Lin Wei knew that I had just finished a fight. Why should I take a shower? The wounds on my body are much better. It hurts to pour warm water on my body. Just as I was washing carefully, Lin Wei opened the door and walked in. I was so frightened at the time that I covered my body in panic. My face turned red. Sister, why did you come in? I remember now. You are injured. I will wash it for you. She was wearing pink pajamas, and when she lowered her head, a large, white patch of her vagina was exposed. I immediately reacted. I was so embarrassed. I shyly covered my important parts. Sister, no need. I can wash it myself. I turned the toy towards her, afraid that she would see my main position. Actually, Lin Wei was also shocked. She was also a little embarrassed. Her cheeks instantly turned red, but when she saw the scars on my body, she felt distressed. If the wounds on your body get wet, they will easily get inflamed, especially on your head. I'd better let you wash them. Lin Wei started rubbing my back. Although it was quite comfortable when she rubbed my back, it also gave me a thrilling feeling. Actually, I don't mean anything else. I'm just worried that you'll wash the wound. Lin Wei came out of the bathroom. I also finished my shower and put on my pajamas. Her father's pajamas really fit me well. It turns out that her father is also big. When Lin Wei saw me, her eyes widened. She stared at me for a long time. Oh my god, you look more and more handsome the more I look at you. You're different from before. Lin Wei went to the bathroom to take a shower. She asked me to lie on the bed in one bedroom and have a good rest. There were several bedrooms in her house. I guess there were also bedrooms upstairs. Lin Wei's house is quite cozy. Because it's so cold outside, I don't have to worry about going back to the school dormitory tonight. After taking a shower, I came to the bedroom and lay on the soft bed. The fragrance of lilies filled my nose. I immediately felt refreshed. The fragrance of a girl's room is so pure. Lin Wei also has a bedroom. She won't live with me. Because I was tired from the fight just now, I fell asleep as soon as I lay on the bed. Lin Wei pushed open my door and walked in, holding a plate of fruit. She had just finished her shower, her long hair was wet and draped over her shoulders. A little white was visible at the collar of her pink pajamas. The towering Mount Fuji stood before my eyes. Have some fruit. She picked up a bunch of grapes and started eating. Putting down the fruit plate, she closed the curtains. Why don't you close the curtains before sleeping? Are you feeling better? She pulled the curtains. I was shocked. Was she going to do that to me? But how could I not think about it after she said that? Why would a grown man like me pull the curtains? It's much better. I'm just tired. Fighting is also tiring. I took a peach and started eating it. It's cold without the curtains drawn. You're so brave. Like a man. Lin Wei sat on the bed, which I didn't expect. Her curvy body is wrapped in a pink skirt, showing her charming curves. The most important thing is that her neckline reveals a charming whiteness, which makes me excited. Chapter 12 Love at First Sight. She took out another bunch of grapes and started eating them. Sister, would you like to eat grapes? Yes, I love eating grapes. Lin Wei looks so beautiful and sweet when she eats grapes. Suddenly, a call came on my cell phone, and it came at an inopportune time. I hurriedly picked up the phone and saw that it was a call from the boss's wife. At this moment, Lin Wei was looking at me eagerly. I still answered the phone. Yi Chen. Are you okay? The proprietress asked with concern. Fine. I heard that you beat up the thugs who were chasing you. You are awesome. Although I really want to chat with the boss lady for a while, but now I am with Lin Wei and don't want to talk to her too much. Madam Boss, it's alright, I'm hanging up now. Alright. So I hung up the phone. Boss lady? How do you know the boss lady? Lin Wei asked puzzledly. Madam Boss of the restaurant, I have been working in the restaurant these days and have earned a lot of money. You'd better go to school. Not everyone can go to Yang University if they want to. Lin Wei said. Who doesn't like reading? But I need money more now. Sister, I'm not going to school anymore. Actually, I still want to go to school, but I don't have the money. How can you not go? How many people from all over the country can be admitted to Yang University? If you don't go to school, I will not be with you anymore. Then she pouted her scarlet lips, looking particularly beautiful. She lay down beside me, the scent of lilies filled the room, and I felt refreshed immediately. Her towering breasts stood tall and majestic in front of my eyes, and her graceful curves made a hot-blooded man like me feel agitated. Let's go put on a movie. Let's watch a movie. Okay. So I went downstairs and started looking for it on the computer. Sister, what movie do you want to watch? Whatever, any movie will do. So I just picked a foreign blockbuster and put it on. At first we both watched it carefully, and then gradually scenes of a man and a woman kissing appeared on the screen. What do you think it feels like when a man and a woman kiss? Lin Wei asked. I didn't expect her to ask that. I stared at her blankly. Her scarlet cheeks were particularly charming, especially her scarlet lips, which were simply adorable and charming. I really want to try kissing her, especially her fiery red lips. They must taste sweeter than lilies. By the way, have you ever had a boyfriend? I shook my head. At this time, a scene of a man and a woman appeared on the screen. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing, how could they do this? She asked even though she knew the answer. As a girl from a wealthy family, she had seen all kinds of movies, and she said this on purpose to stir up emotions. I just stared at her blankly. What are you looking at? Little Jurian. She asked in a coquettish tone, and at the same time, she was acting coquettish. Sister, you are so beautiful. Don't talk nonsense. She became cold and I was shocked at the time. Seeing that I was scared, she smiled again, which eased her mood. I don't know what love is yet. Every word she said made my heart beat faster. But I really wanted to do that with her, but I didn't dare. How come they got together when they just met? Love has no time limit, maybe it's love at first sight. Do you think we can have love? She looked at me with her beautiful eyes. A piece of white skin was exposed in her loose pajamas, and I immediately reacted shamelessly. Don't look at me like that. I feel so scared when you look at me. You look so scary. Like a wolf. At this moment, the movie seemed to be in tune with our emotions, and the male and female protagonists blended together. What are they doing? Her cheeks flushed. She was shy. Sister, I love you. I don't know where I got the courage to say this. She was stunned at that time and stared at me blankly. No, no, no. You are so handsome. I am not worthy of your love. You should find a good girl. I am a bad guy. Her expression became gloomy. I grabbed her hand. Her hand was so soft and smooth. My heart started beating wildly. Sis, you are the best girl. I love you so much. Love comes so suddenly, maybe at that moment, we fall in love. Chapter 13, Angry. And at that moment I became particularly courageous. I am not worthy of your love. She was melancholy, which made her face look even prettier. Especially her flaming red lips, which were shining brightly. Sister, you are not a bad boss, you are a good boss. I hugged him immediately, and at the same time, her lily fragrance surrounded me tightly. No. She pushed me away with all her strength. I can't hurt you. What did she mean? Did she have a secret? I was stunned. Looking at this beautiful lady, I stopped thinking that. Seeing me stop, her little hand reached out and grabbed my hand. It immediately ignited the fire in my heart and I hugged her. Her scarlet little mouth was so beautiful that I could no longer control myself. I kissed her beautiful red lips. It was so sweet. So wonderful. She didn't refuse. It ignited the fire in my heart and body. Just when I wanted to take the next step with her, she pushed me away. Okay. Sister doesn't love you. Her cheeks were flushed, making her look particularly charming. I was burning with fire, but suddenly she pushed me away, which made me feel very lost. Sister, I love you. I will love you forever. I will work like a slave for you. I was truly moved. Tell me, have you ever had a girlfriend? No. I shook my head. No way, you college students are very open-minded. The small hotels around the university are all for college students. She said in disbelief. Sister, I really didn't. You really don't have another girl? She seemed unconvinced. Really not, sis. She seemed to be jealous, and the more jealous she was, the more comfortable I felt, because finally a big shot was jealous of me. Go to sleep and don't have any other thoughts about me. I'm not as good as you think. I'm injured. She got out of bed and walked outside. I wanted to chase her and hug her, but I didn't have the courage. Bang, the door closed. When I woke up in the morning, I smelled the aroma of food. This was the most peaceful night's sleep I had in these few months of wandering. I felt particularly happy and excited. I got up in a hurry, and when I came to the kitchen, I saw her cooking in the kitchen. Sister, I'll help you. I can cook, too. Go ahead, go back to the room and wait. Dinner will be ready soon. I don't need you. I had no choice but to go back to my room. She brought the food to me. She was like my daughter-in-law, serving me. I suddenly felt so happy. I feel like life has really smiled at me. Life is not easy. If I can marry such a beautiful boss, it would be my great fortune. I want to love her sincerely with all my life. Where can I find such a big man? As I ate the delicious food she cooked, I looked at her full of happiness. My heart was particularly warm. Perhaps the hardship I had endured in the past had finally paid off. After breakfast, Lin Wei took me out to buy a set of clothes and changed me from inside to outside. When I put on the clothes, she looked at me carefully. Handsome, so handsome. My worn-out coat was thrown away, and she bought me a down jacket, which was very warm and comfortable to wear. I went from being a migrant worker to being a student in an instant. At noon, she took me to a restaurant for lunch. I ate the dumplings and steamed buns I wanted, which tasted delicious. This was the most delicious meal I had in the past few months. I felt so happy. Suddenly, her face turned grim. Let's just call it quits. We can't do this anymore. Why? I asked in surprise. Being together is a beautiful mistake. Sister, what's the matter with you? Tell me. I'll help you solve it. You can't solve it. There are many things in this world that cannot be changed by your will. You will understand when you grow up. I saw the sad look on her face and I started to worry about her. I fell from the paradise of happiness into hell, and I felt extremely cold. What was the story behind this big guy? There must be something he couldn't tell anyone. Sister, please don't be like this. It makes me sad if you do this. I will be very sad. Tell me what's wrong. I am willing to go through fire and water for you. I comforted her and wanted to know the secret of her pain. She said nothing. Sister, who bullied you? Tell me. I will kill him. My eyes flashed a cold light, which scared her. No one bullies me. She told me this nonsense, which made me realize the seriousness of the situation. Is she really a big shot with a story? At this time, there was a knock on the door. Lin Wei opened the door. A man's voice came at the same time. She sat up hurriedly. Don't move, cat. Don't move. If you move, something will happen. She was panicked. I was stunned at the time, feeling that something bad was going to happen. She told me not to move. What did she mean? She hurried out. Chapter 14, Thoughts. Who is this man? I wanted to lean over the window to take a look, but I was afraid he would see me. So I held back. Coming, coming. Lin Wei shouted. Then there was the sound of a door opening. Wait for me, I'll go get the bag. Go ahead. I went to the window and looked outside, only to see a fat old man getting off the car. Lin Wei came out of the villa with her bag, and the two of them got into a Land Rover. The old man drove away in the Land Rover. My heart was broken. My heart seemed to be taken away by her. Lin Wei, my boss, my goddess, how could she go with an old man? Who is this old man? My heart was trembling. It seemed as if my soul had been seduced by her, and I was restless. Every minute and every second seemed so long. I hope Lin Wei will come back soon. How could this be? Lin Wei is my most beloved boss, how can she go with another man? Don't mention anything that happens to them, I'm jealous even when they go shopping. I was furious and wanted to kill someone. Lin Wei took my soul and my heart away. I couldn't do that. I had to call her, so I picked up my phone and found Lin Wei's phone number, and was about to call her. Suddenly, Lin Wei's voice came into my mind. You stay in the house and don't go out. And she looked so panicked. I put down my phone obediently. If I called her, I would be harming her. Should I send her a WeChat message? I know she is with this old man, and if I send her a WeChat message, she will be very unhappy when she sees it. Nothing I do right now is going to work, it's killing me. Before Lin Wei came back, my heart was like grass growing on it. I felt like the end of the world was coming. Every second seemed so long, and I was completely devastated. I didn't know what to do. I'm afraid that during this period, Lin Wei had something going on with this old man. I couldn't stay at home any longer. So I walked out of Lin Wei's house. I walked aimlessly, my mind was empty. It seemed like the end of the world. Suddenly a car stopped beside me. The window rolled down and a beautiful woman's face appeared. Hey, is that you? Migrant worker. I looked carefully and found that it was Liu Na whom I rescued that day. But she called me a migrant worker, which made me feel unhappy. Do I look like a migrant worker to you? I was already furious when Lin Wei left with an old man. I was even angrier when she called me a migrant worker. Not now. I didn't expect you to look so handsome in this new outfit. Get in the car. I want to invite you. Ask Sister Lin to come along as well. After all, you saved me that day. Since I had nowhere to go, I opened the car door and got in. The car Liu Na drives is also very good. It is an Audi A8. This car costs more than 1 million yuan. It is very comfortable to sit in the car. She drove to Lin Wei's house and took out her cell phone to call Lin Wei. And it was hands-free. When I saw her calling Lin Wei, I was suddenly overjoyed. Because I didn't dare to call Lin Wei, I really wanted to know Lin Wei's current situation. It was definitely a good thing for me that she brought Lin Wei back. I just wanted Lin Wei to leave that old man, but I didn't dare to call her. It was great that Liu Na called her. The heavy weight on my heart finally fell. All the gloom became brighter because of the sunshine. I didn't know if Lin Wei could answer the phone, but soon Lin Wei answered the phone. Sister Lin, come out, I'm in front of your house. Let's go to the restaurant. I hurriedly winked at her, telling her not to tell her that I was with her. Liu Na was very smart and immediately understood what I meant. Otherwise she would really tell me. I'm not at home. Hearing this, my heart immediately rose. Where are you? I came out with my friends. Hearing Lin Wei say this, my heart suddenly became gloomy again. The old man is her friend, what kind of friend? What should I do? Sister Lin is free today, but I can't come out tomorrow. Liu Na said anxiously. How about this, tell me after you book the hotel, and I'll go directly to the hotel. Okay, I'll tell you when I've decided. Then Liu Na hung up the phone. So she called again and quickly booked a hotel. She booked a very luxurious hotel, which was very famous, Rongda Fishing Port. Chapter 15 Love is so bitter. There is a lot of fresh seafood in the restaurant, and each meal costs several $1,000s. She sent a WeChat message to Lin Wei, telling her their hotel room address, and then she drove me to the front door. I heard that Lin Wei went to the restaurant, and I was weighed down by the weight in my heart. But I finally let it go. Lin Wei didn't do that with the old man, did she? I have a shadow in my heart now. I'm afraid that Lin Wei has something going on with this old man. Soon we arrived at the hotel. Handsome man, please order whatever you like. I'll treat you today. It's my way of repaying you. I see that there are live seafood here. Actually, for a poor person like me, I am not interested in these seafood. What I want to eat now is big fish and meat, as long as I can eat enough. In fact, people who eat seafood are relatively wealthy people. They eat seafood after they have had enough of fish and meat. And I ordered pork elbow, beef, dumplings and the like. Seeing me ordering these types of dishes, Liu Na smiled and said, migrant workers are different. They only order cheap food. She also called me a migrant worker, which made me unhappy. I knew she was joking with me. After all, she is a great beauty, so I didn't take it seriously. Soon Lin Wei came. Seeing Lin Wei, I finally felt relieved. But I still feel uncomfortable. I wonder what she did with the old man. When Lin Wei saw me there, she was stunned. Why are you two together? I happened to run into him on my way to look for you, so I pulled him over. Come on, I've ordered everything, let's go upstairs. Liu Na said with a smile. I followed the two beauties upstairs. I really wanted to ask who that old man was. What did she do with him? But since Liu Na is here, I can't ask. I feel like there is a fishbone stuck in my throat. It can neither go up nor down. It's like a fishbone stuck in my throat. But facing the smiles of the two beauties, although I felt uncomfortable, I was still very happy to see them, especially seeing Lin Wei coming back. Suddenly I realized that as long as Lin Wei was not around me, my heart felt as if it had been taken away by her and I felt lost. Although she is back, the image of that old man still disgusts me. I must find out who he is and what is his relationship with Lin Wei. Could it be that Lin Wei was kept by someone? I dared not think about it, and I tried to think the best of Lin Wei. I want to deny this idea of mine, which is actually what I least want to see. I don't want it to become a reality. Lin Wei is so pure, how could she be kept by that old man? If she didn't support him, why would she follow him? This is the pain in my heart. Whenever I think about this, my heart aches. I had no appetite for this meal because my heart had been torn apart by Lin Wei and it hurt so much. When we came out of the restaurant, I didn't go directly to Lin Wei's house because I didn't want Liu Na to know about my relationship with her. Before leaving, Lin Wei sent me a WeChat message, asking me to go alone, and then she drove to pick me up. I understood what Lin Wei meant, so when I came out of the hotel, I didn't use two beauties to see me off. I strolled along the streets of Lido. I felt very depressed. The cold wind blew on my face and it hurt. I didn't feel cold. I was wearing the down jacket that Lin Wei bought for me and it was very warm. This kind of cold air can penetrate the down jacket. My heart suddenly warmed up. She is not that kind of boss. She is a good boss. I kept denying my own thoughts in my heart. Suddenly a message came on the phone. Where are you? It was the WeChat message Lin Wei sent me. I'll send her the location. Okay, just stand there and I'll pick you up. I looked up. This was the Lido building, with people coming and going. It was the new year, so it was especially festive, but I felt particularly depressed. Lin Wei and I had such a wonderful life, with bright dreams for the future, but that old man ruined our beautiful life. I must find out who this old man is. When she picks me up later, I can confront her. Chapter 16 Inferiority Complex. At this time, my mother called and I answered the phone in a hurry. I haven't used the money my son gave me. I don't want to go to the hospital anymore. My illness can't be cured in the hospital. I'll keep the money for you to get married. I gave my boss's wife 10,000 yuan and transferred 9,000 yuan to my mother. 9,000 yuan is a huge sum of money for my family. Mom, use the money to buy something delicious. Your son is working part-time in a private company now, and he also has a scholarship. Your son has money now. When he has arranged everything here, I will go home to see you. Son, you must study hard. Studying is your only way out. You can't rely on your mother or your father. Mom, don't mention him. I'm already a man. I will definitely let you live a good life. The mother started crying. At this time, Lin Wei's car stopped beside me. Mom, I won't say anything more. Buy more delicious food for the new year. Eat whatever you want. Your son has money. Okay, son, as long as you study hard. Mother cried, and my heart became even sadder. I didn't dare to listen to my mother's crying, so I hung up the phone. Then she opened the car door and got in. Lin Wei didn't say a word and drove me to her villa. Who did you call just now? Lin Wei asked. To my mother. Could it be Liu Na? How could it be her? My mom just called me. Lin Wei's suspicion of me made me secretly happy, because it proved that she was jealous. How did you get involved with Liu Na? Lin Wei stared at me closely. Didn't I tell you? She saw me as soon as I came out of your house. It can't be such a coincidence, right? I'm telling you, you are not allowed to hook up with these big guys. If you dare to hook up with them, I will castrate you. She said domineeringly. The pleasant smell of her body melted my heart instantly. I forgot all the unhappiness. Only this boss was in my heart. Who is that old man? Although she brought me happiness, I still want to ask this question. She was just stunned. Don't ask any more. Who is that old man? I insisted on finding out. She bit her red lips tightly, looking a little nervous. Are you going to tell me or not? She burst into tears and ran to another room. Bang! The door was shut tightly. Then she burst into tears. I was startled. How could she feel so wronged? Am I wrong? Shouldn't I ask? We were so beautiful and happy. But why did I mention the old man? But I won't talk about it anymore. I can't get over it because I love her to my core. I don't want anyone else to come into our lives. I even hope that there are only the two of us in this world, loving each other in a closed space. But facing the reality, I am just a dream. When I wake up from the dream, I will be shattered by reality. I felt that I was too overbearing, so I went to Lin Wei's bedroom door. I reached out to open the door, but she locked it from the inside. I couldn't open the door. Sister, I was wrong. I shouldn't have asked you. Please open the door. But no matter what I said, she just wouldn't open the door. I really pissed her off. She was still crying inside. My heart was crying too. Her sadness was actually my sadness. No matter how I knocked on the door, she just wouldn't open it. Finally, I became desperate. Sister, I'm leaving. So I walked out of Lin Wei's house. It was already completely dark outside. Festive firecrackers rang out, but I felt so sad. I love Lin Wei, but I can't protect her. This is my shame as a man. I just pressed her and asked her who the old man was. She told me, but what could I do? I have no money. I have nothing. I am just a poor student and my mother is sick. How could I protect her? Thinking of this, I hated myself a little. Why did I come to this world, and why did I have to go through so many hardships? If I knew the result would be like this, God would not have given Lin Wei to me. If he had given her to me, I would not have gotten her. How sad it would have made me. There were cold snowflakes outside, hitting my face from time to time, chilling my heart. I was like a homeless dog, walking around on the street. There was almost no one on the streets. Many people were reunited at home, enjoying family happiness, but I was homeless. Chapter 17, Sad Love. There was a flashlight shining in the distance. Could it be that Lin Wei was chasing after me? Yi Chen, come back. I just want to love you. Lin Wei cried. Sister, please go back. I know we are not suitable. I will not disturb your life anymore. It is me who has brought you pain. As I spoke, tears began to flow. Yi Chen, come back. I can't live without you, you little bastard, little enemy, you stole my heart, how did I know you? She chased after me, and I started running, talking as I ran. Sister, please go back. I will always remember you in my heart, and I will always remember the good things you have done for me. Come back. Lin Wei shouted. I didn't turn back. I kept running. Tears streamed down my face, blurring my vision. I couldn't even see the road ahead. I didn't stop, I continued to run. I thought if a car came towards me, it would definitely hit me to death. Then I would feel relieved, leaving this dirty world. This world makes me sad and heartbroken. I thought of my mother and how she struggled with her illness, and I was completely desperate. I am oppressed by this world and can't breathe. How miserable it must be for a man without money. I ran to the school. I cried in the schoolyard. Then I climbed over the wall and entered the school. I opened the door of the dormitory. There was no one there. The students were on vacation and went home to reunite with their parents, but I was in the cold dormitory, crying silently. Thinking about what happened between Lin Wei and I felt even sadder. My cell phone rang, and I picked it up and saw it was Lin Wei calling. I didn't want to answer her call, so I hung up. She continued to call me. She called me over and over again like a madman, and I hung up over and over again. Then her message came. Why don't you answer the phone? I can't live without you. Where are you? I went to the construction site to look for you, but I couldn't find you. Now I'm at your school, but the school gate is closed. Please tell me where you are. I can't live without you. Do you want to force me to death? Messages came flooding in. Seeing this message from him, my heart felt even more sad and tears started to fall. I suddenly hated you. Am I still a man? If I am a man, why do I always cry? Only weak men love to cry. I can't cry. I must stand up. I have to protect Lin Wei. If I run away like this, will that old man take advantage of me? At this time, Lin Wei called again, and I answered it this time. Xiao Cheng, where are you? She started crying. When she cried like this, my heart softened and at the same time, it was bleeding. Sister, please don't look for me. I can only bring you trouble. Let's forget it. I cried too. I couldn't control my tears. No, please come back. I can't live without you. You have taken my heart away. My heart is empty. I beg you, please come back. I have no relatives in this world anymore. You are my only relative. I will not live without you. Lin Wei burst into tears. Her crying was like a whip lashing my heart, and I felt a heart-wrenching pain. What did we do wrong? Why are we being tortured like this? Finally, I went home with her. We hugged each other and cried loudly. I stopped asking her about the old man. This matter was like a needle piercing my heart. Whenever I touched it, it would hurt. I really want to pull out this needle and let the wound heal completely. Every time I was about to pull her out, I was afraid of losing her. This long-lasting pain is even more painful. Only by pulling out this needle completely can my wound be healed slowly. I live with her with my wound. Sister, who is that man? Sister, please stop asking, okay? There are some things you shouldn't know, it's better than you knowing them. Lin Wei looked at me pitifully. If I asked again, her tears would flow. Okay, sis, I won't ask anymore. But if I don't ask, there will always be a thorn in my heart. It's very painful and makes me uncomfortable. If you die one day, will you miss your sister? She asked me. I was shocked. Sister, what's wrong with you? It's okay, I'm just asking. At this time, her eyes turned red. Sister, what's the matter with you? Tell me. I will protect you. I am so depressed now. My beloved boss is suffering from injustice and I can't even protect her. Chapter 18 Lily. You can't protect your sister. You should go to school and study hard so that you will have a bright future. You have forgotten about me. In the future, you should marry a kind girl and live a good life. I wish you all the best. Lin Wei couldn't control her emotions and burst into tears. When she cried, I was immediately panicked and my heart was crying too. What happened to my sister? Tell me who bullied you. I will kill him. A surge of anger rushed to my head, and I wanted to kill someone. Kill that old man. All the unhappiness is caused by that old man, I must kill him. My heart was filled with hatred, and I clenched my fists so hard that they made a crackling sound. At that time, my eyes flashed with a cold light. Lin Wei saw it and was frightened. Yi Chen, listen to me, you can't do this, I love you. She keeps saying she loves me, but she can't be with me. What does she want to do? Is she really being kept by someone? Sister, are you being kept by someone? These were the words that I had been holding in my heart, and I finally couldn't hold it in anymore. Lin Wei's face suddenly turned ugly. You look at me like that. Do you think I'm that kind of person? Do you think I'm that bad? She got angry. I was actually happy. No. I'm a good sister and I shouldn't say that to her. I felt that my words were insulting to her. I was almost broken and crazy because of her behavior. I knew she was wronged, but I didn't know who wronged her. I wanted to avenge her, but I couldn't find the enemy. Yi Chen, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's talk about something happy. Okay, sister, let's not talk about this. Sister, let me play a movie for you. Let's watch a movie to save you from being sad. Sister, I'm going to take a shower first. I'll put it away when I come back. Lin Wei went to the bathroom. Although this matter has passed, I am still troubled and my heart is still bleeding. I am still thinking about that old man. Who is he? What does it have to do with her? I don't know this, I fell in love with her. But I can't get her. She is the first big boss in my life and the only big boss I love. She is so good to me. I am willing to die for her. I give her everything she wants from me. I love this boss so much. When I thought about it, my tears started to flow uncontrollably. I kept scolding myself in my heart, wondering if I was still a man, and how could I be like a woman. I cried all day long. I wanted to wipe away my tears, but the more I wiped, the more they kept flowing down. I wanted to wait until she finished taking a shower so I could wash my face. I was afraid she would notice that I was crying. It is absolutely shameful for a grown man to let a big boss see him crying. As a man, you should stand tall and upright, and never shed a tear no matter how hurt you are. I must be strong. How can I protect my beloved boss if I am not strong? I kept cheering myself up in my heart. When she came out of the bathroom after taking a shower, a fragrance came to me, and I immediately felt the beauty of life. I didn't dare look at her. I guess my eyes must be red now. I was afraid that she would see that I cried, so I went to the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes were red. It was obvious that I cried. I turned on the faucet and kept washing my face and eyes. Why am I so useless? Why am I always crying like this? Are you still a man? I kept cursing myself in my heart. I calmed myself down and stopped crying. So I washed my face several times and looked in the mirror again. Finally, I couldn't see anything and I cried. Then I came out of the bathroom. When I came to the bedroom, she was already lying on the bed, with her lovely face exposed from under the quilt. I saw the pink nightgown lying next to her, and I thought she must be wearing nothing at this time. The scenery must be very picturesque. At the same time, the fragrance of lilies surrounded me. Chapter 19 Torment. I saw that her hair was still a little wet. She didn't even have time to style her hair. She just lay on the bed, waiting for the happy moment I would give her. There was no sadness on her face, but a smile. Was she really not angry anymore? Why was she like this? Was she trying to seduce me? Sister, you look so beautiful lying like this. Is it beautiful? Beautiful. At this time, her little hand stretched out from the quilt. I understood what she meant. She wanted me. I took advantage of her unpreparedness and lifted up the quilt. She was not wearing anything at all, and she screamed loudly in fear. You little bastard, what are you doing? I'm so embarrassed. You bad guy. I'm going to make you embarrassed. I pressed on him all of a sudden. She flirted with me and gradually gave in. All the pain was dispelled by our love. The room was filled with our laughter. In fact, Lin Wei wanted to give it to me so that I could check it completely to see if she was innocent. I was just about to continue talking to her when her cell phone rang, startling her. She picked up the phone and hung up in a hurry. Who's calling? Ignore harassing phone calls. The call started soon. I thought it was not a harassment call. Who would make a harassment call in the middle of the night? And I thought of the old man. You answer it. Answer it in front of me and turn on the speakerphone. Let's just forget it. I have to answer it, I said firmly. Then I'll go out and answer it. No. Just answer it here. If you don't answer it, I will. Yi Chen, what are you going to do? She asked unhappily. Are you going to answer it? If you don't, I will. As I said that, I tried to grab the phone. When she saw me grabbing the phone, she hurriedly picked it up and answered the call helplessly. Why don't you answer the phone? What are you doing? Are you looking for a man? A man's voice came over, and I suddenly became angry when I heard it. I clenched my fists and I really wanted to kill someone. No. I just fell asleep. She lied. Why did you hang up when I called you? I was so sleepy that I don't know why I hung up the phone. Why are you sleeping? Your lights are on. She was stunned at that time. I was scared, so I turned on the light and slept. Lin Wei reacted quickly. Well, open the door. I'm right outside your house. I'll go and protect you. You won't be afraid if you're with me, little darling. Uncle Han, stop making trouble. Just go home and don't come here. Auntie will be looking for you soon. Why is she looking for me? She may not be looking for a man somewhere. Hurry up and open the door. I'm going in now. I've had enough to drink today. I want you today. Every word was like a needle piercing my heart, and I suddenly became angry. I wanted him to come in so badly that I could kill him. My eyes were red. But Lin Wei was on the phone, and I didn't say anything. I wanted to see what her relationship with that old man was. I had to get to the bottom of it tonight. You should go home, it's too late. What's wrong? You don't want to open the door for me. Well, if you don't open the door for me, your father will go to jail. Hearing this, I was stunned. It turned out that this old man threatened her father. What was going on? I was confused. Okay, wait for me. I'll go open the door right away. She hung up the phone in a hurry. Xiao Qiang, hide quickly and don't come out. If you come out, something bad will happen. I'll find a way to send him away. Lin Wei was very flustered. Why should I hide? If you let him in, I will kill him. Yi Chen, you absolutely can't do that. Listen to me and hide quickly. She was very flustered. Let him in. I ran to the kitchen and took out a kitchen knife. Yi Chen, you can't do this. You are hurting me and my father at the same time. I must kill him, you call him in. Lin Wei knelt down in front of me. Chapter 20 Suffocation. Sister, I beg you, please go to that room and hide, and don't come out. If you want to kill someone, just kill me. Sister, I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. She started crying. Open the door. What the hell is going on with you? Is there a man hiding in the room? Han Pin shouted outside. My heart softened when I saw her crying, and I hugged her. Okay, I'll listen to you, sister. She asked me to go to the bedroom where the lights were not on, and the old man came in and first checked the room where we had the lights on. Lin Wei went out and opened the door. Why did you take so long to open the door for me? There must be a man hiding in your room. I have to check him carefully. Uncle Han, what are you talking about? Don't you know what kind of boss I am? The most untrustworthy people nowadays are the big guys. They say one thing to your face and another behind your back. Suddenly there were heavy footsteps. I want to see if you have a man hidden here. I heard the door being pushed open, and it was the room we had been in. No one was there. Then he went to the bathroom. The footsteps were coming towards my room, so urgent. My panicked cat was behind the door. Turn on the light. Han Pin ordered. I was stunned at the time. At the same time, I became nervous. Uncle Han, what are you doing? Don't you believe me? Lin Wei suddenly burst into tears. Har har har, I like you like this. Like Lin Dayu. She cries all the time. Come and let Uncle Han cherish you. Uncle Han, what are you talking about? I treat you like a father. You are so old now. Can you bear to do that to me? Lin Wei said he was old and he got angry. What's wrong with being old? I can fuck you just the same even if you're old. I listened to him say such filthy words. My hands clenched until they made a crackling sound. Since Lin Wei knelt down in front of me, the kitchen knife was not brought over. Now I really want to go out and kill him. What do I look like now? Like a coward. My beloved boss is so disgusted by this old man, and I dare not go out. My heart was tearing apart, my heart was trembling. I bit my lips tightly. At the same time, I felt salty in my mouth, and blood came out of my mouth. My eyes turned red with anger. I opened the door a crack and the noise outside became louder. I'm telling you, Lin Wei, I'm going to take you down tonight. You'd better be good and let me have my pleasure, otherwise there will be serious consequences. Uncle Han, don't be like this. Didn't you tell me not to force me? Aren't you going to wait until you get divorced before marrying me? When I heard this, countless knives stabbed at me. No wonder she didn't follow me, it turned out that she wanted to follow this old thing. How could such a beautiful goddess be with this old guy? I absolutely cannot let her be with this old man. This is simply disgusting. Now I have changed my mind. You have to serve me tonight. I will not leave tonight. Come, follow me into the inner room. Then, he went to hug Lin Wei. Lin Wei was struggling and screaming loudly. Uncle Han, you can't do this. You will be mine sooner or later, why are you pretending? Hurry up, don't make me angry. If I get angry, your father will bear the consequences. After he said this, Lin Wei became scared and stopped struggling. At this time, I saw him hugging Lin Wei. Hey, my baby. Let's go and let Uncle Han treat you well. Although he shocked Lin Wei, she still refused to obey and kept struggling. If you dare to disobey me again, I will chop you to death. He just raised his hand and hit Lin Wei. Chapter 21 Venting. I couldn't tolerate it any longer. If I continued to tolerate it, I would be a living cuckold. I kicked the door open and rushed over like a madman. I kicked the old man, and his slap missed. He fell to the ground, and we started to wrestle. I picked up the vase on the coffee table and hit him on the head. With a bang, the vase broke and blood flowed from his head. I'm going to kill you, you bastard. My eyes were red with anger, so I took the broken vase and stabbed him with the sharp blade. Lin Wei hugged me tightly. Yi Chen, you can't do this. Sister, let me go. I want to kill this beast. The boy was suddenly attacked by me and knocked to the ground. He was a little dazed. When he realized what was going on, he stood up. Seeing him get up, I shook my body and left Lin Wei aside. I smashed half of the vase on his head, and blood flowed from his brain again. I went up to him and started punching and kicking him, knocking him to the ground. Stop hitting me, I give up. Stop it, brother. Han Pin said. I'll beat you to death. If I don't beat you to death today, I'm not a man, you old bastard. How old are you and you're still thinking about this little girl? The more I spoke, the more excited I became, and my fists rained down on him. At this moment, I didn't care about anything else and I just wanted to kill him. Lin Wei hugged me tightly from behind and kept crying. Yi Chen, stop it now. Stop it now. I kneel down for you. Lin Wei begged me like this, and my heart softened immediately. I let him go. Han Pin stood up and ran outside. If you have the guts, wait here for me and I'll destroy you. I'm waiting for you, why the hell don't you come? You're my son. I yelled loudly, letting out all the depression I had been feeling for the past few days. Okay, don't leave if you have the guts. Han Pin drove away. After everything that happened just now, Lin Wei was shocked. Yi Chen, run quickly and hide in school. Don't show up these days. He will find some gang members to destroy you. I'm not leaving. I'm not afraid anymore. Listen to me, leave quickly. Otherwise you will die. I don't want to hurt you. I'm not afraid, sister. I want to protect you. I'll kill anyone who dares to come. After the fight just now, I'm not scared at all. Even though Han Pin said he was going to find someone, I wasn't afraid. To protect my beloved boss, I didn't take my life seriously. At worst, one life for another. No. Leave quickly. Lin Wei was so anxious that she almost cried. At the same time, she was so scared that she was trembling all over, her face turned pale, and she pushed me and asked me to leave here quickly. I know she loves me and she's afraid that I'll suffer. Sister, I won't leave. What will he do to you if I leave? How can I leave my beloved boss here to protect me? What kind of man would I be? Wouldn't I be a coward? I won't leave. No matter what you say, I won't leave. I'll just wait for him. I went back into the kitchen and got the kitchen knife. Sister will go with you, you wait. So, she took the bag and took me out of the house. Driving on the highway, she drove very fast. She kept looking at the rearview mirror, afraid that there was a car behind her. At this moment, we were like a pair of mandarin ducks on the run. But I wasn't scared. I was just a little nervous. Now that my mother's hospitalization fees have been taken care of, what else do I have to fear? I am helpless now, and I only have this sister in front of me. I truly love her, and if anyone dares to touch my sister, I will fight him to the death. Sis, I'm sorry, I got you into trouble. Yi Chen, I don't blame you. I like you even more. You are so brave that you even risked your life for me. I am very touched. Her words warmed me and I was no longer afraid. Chapter 22 Helpless. Yi Chen, you don't know how powerful this guy is. He has a lot of money, and he has a lot of thugs under him. Why don't you go back to your hometown and hide for a while? When she said that, I was actually a little scared. Is it that serious? Of course. I was just stunned. Why are you scared? I'm not afraid. What am I afraid of? Actually, I was a little scared. But then I thought about Lin Wei. What would she do if I hid? Especially since she was a girl. I must protect her. You'd better stay out of the spotlight. He's ruthless and merciless. Where are we going, sis? I'll go back after I drop you off at school. Sister, you can't go back. It's very dangerous for you to go back. It's okay, he drank today, otherwise he wouldn't be like this. No, how about this, let's go to a hotel. I can't let you go back. Seeing me say this, I thought it made sense, so we checked into a hotel. Although we were alone, we were no longer in that mood and were completely panicked by the huge waves that had just occurred. We both took a shower and lay quietly on the bed. Although a little flustered, Lin Wei was still so beautiful, and under the light, she was still so beautiful. Looking at her, my mood immediately improved. Sister, why are you so beautiful? Silly brother. Is it a crime for me to be beautiful? She was amused by me. The atmosphere became better immediately. She was no longer so nervous. I think I have always protected her. We are always together, sharing the good and the bad. As long as she is by my side, I feel at ease. As soon as she left me, my heart felt empty. After what happened just now, I was even more reluctant to let her out of my sight. Lin Wei's flaming red lips are so charming and sweet. She is my favorite. I really want to hug her and kiss her. But I didn't want to tarnish such a beautiful angel, and I found that I really fell in love with her. She is so weak and needs my protection. Facing such a powerful force, I must fight to the end to protect such a pure goddess. Soon we weren't so scared anymore, and she felt at ease. She said she liked me taking her to all sorts of places, it was crazy. When I woke up in the morning, she was still asleep, her long eyelashes covering her eyelids, so beautiful. Her face was as beautiful as a doll, and her lips were still bright red even after a night's sleep. Even if she didn't wear lipstick, her lips were naturally red, which was so sexy. Lin Wei was really beautiful. Gorgeous. She is a real beauty, definitely not a beauty created by makeup. No matter how she stays, she is always so beautiful. But the happy times we had together passed quickly. How are we going to face this kind of life in the future? Is there no room for us in this city? I beat Han Pin. What will be the consequences for me? Han Pin will definitely take revenge on me. How can I defend myself? Suddenly, Lin Wei woke up and opened her beautiful big eyes. Her eyes were as clear as water. Looking at her eyes, you could tell that she was a clean boss. Innocent, pure, elegant and refined. Sister, are you awake? Yeah. Sister feels so comfortable lying in your arms. It's a pity that I have to go home. Her expression immediately became melancholy. Sister, I won't let you go home. What if he comes looking for you? This is very dangerous. It's okay, you won't threaten me anymore. Why? Because my sister gave him money, he wouldn't have a grudge against money, right? You gave him money. Yes, in order to protect my father's safety, I can only give him money. Her words were like a knife digging into my heart. Why should she give money to that old man? Sister, let's go, run away and get away from these dirty people. With my own hands, I will definitely be able to support you. I can't leave. If I leave, my dad will be finished. Sister, is your dad more important or am I more important? After I asked this question, I realized that I was stupid. Of course, dad is more important. Lin Wei looked at me quietly for a long time without saying anything. It seemed as if she didn't know me. She mustered up her courage and said, my father is important. I can give my life for him. Lin Wei was telling the truth. I knew I asked the wrong question. Chapter 23: Sacrificing oneself to protect father. Sister, I want to ask you something. Can you tell me what crime your father committed? Why did he let Hanpin blackmail you? Don't ask. There are some things that are hard to know. She became depressed again. Sister, I really want to help you. Let's take the initiative. I'll take the evidence back from Hanpin. You are too naive. It's not as simple as you think. If anything happens to Hanpin, he won't be able to protect my dad. What kind of a trick is this? I was confused. Lin Wei let out a long sigh. Sister, I heard you say that you are waiting for him to get divorced before marrying him? Is this true? I have a lot of questions and I want to know the answers. He promised to make up for the public funds my father had taken. He gave my father some data as a condition. I agreed to marry him. Hearing this, I was stunned, and my heart ached. How could Lin Wei sign such a ridiculous agreement with him? Sister, I can't let you marry him. How can you marry this guy? It's so disgusting. I said excitedly. I have no choice. I have to save my father. It is also what my father promised. Sister, if I can rescue your father, you must promise not to marry him. How is that possible? Lin Wei obviously didn't believe me. At this moment, I already have a plan in mind. I must get the top secret material from Hanpin. No matter what the cost, I will do it. Okay, since you asked, I'll tell you. My father is the chairman of the Ju City Wealth Company. He was able to embezzle public funds. Hanpin discovered it. Hanpin used this evidence to threaten my father. So that's how it is. And he wants me to marry him. I won't tell anyone about this. If I do, my father will definitely go to jail. Lin Wei became sad. My father had a very difficult life. My mother passed away when I was 5 years old, and my father never looked for another boss. He was afraid that I would be bullied by a stepmother. You can imagine how much my father loved me. Such a good father should be saved, I interrupted. My father is in trouble now. I will go through fire and water to save him. So I agreed to marry this old man. He won't tell anyone about my father. My father will be safe for the time being. If there is no evidence against Hanpin, wouldn't your father be safe? I asked. Not really. Hanpin has to cooperate in transferring the money. Only then will my father be safe. I was completely bewildered by what she said. Is there nothing we can do? So you have no right to interfere in my affairs. He said he would marry me after his divorce, but his wife pestered him and said she would not give him the procedures, so he never divorced. I don't want him to divorce either. If he divorces, I will really have to marry him. I want to give you my first time. Because I like you. Lin Wei's eyes were red. Her words were like needles piercing my heart, and my heart was bleeding. So that's how it is. Lin Wei is enduring a huge pressure as a girl. She is still fighting against the world. What reason do I have to escape? I promised him not to find a boyfriend, so I haven't found one until now. Who knew you would appear and I would fall in love with you? This is simply a torture for me. How can I fall in love with you? You stole my heart. I can't sleep or eat because of you. We shouldn't know each other. Lin Wei's tears fell. The more she said this, the more upset I felt. I couldn't say a word. It turned out that Lin Wei was still so pure. She was a good girl. How could I bear to take away her most precious first time? Chapter 24, Surprise Attack. A huge sadness came over me. Isn't it good for us to love each other? I asked. Lin Wei opened her eyes wide and looked at me. She didn't say anything, but her expression was complicated. I could tell from her eyes that she really loved me. She loves me but can't be with me, which makes it even more painful for her. Because of this, we might as well not love. If we don't love, there won't be so much pain. Things in this world are really tormenting. Sister, don't worry, I will definitely marry you, and I will definitely settle this matter for you. I swore. Listen to me, you can't do it. You are very simple in this complicated society. How can you handle it as a student? Sister, don't worry, just wait for my good news. Actually, I have no idea what good news I have. I have made up my mind, I must stop her from marrying that old man. Many things were not as simple as I thought, and the more I tried to change them, the more I couldn't. As a result, we ran into trouble again, one after another. During this period, Hanpin did not bother me. I relaxed a little since I had always been on guard. We no longer stayed in the hotel. I followed Lin Wei back home. At first, Lin Wei didn't want me to go home with her. She was afraid that Hanpin would cause trouble for me. She was afraid that he would beat me up. But with my enthusiasm, she couldn't refuse me. Because a big shot who loves you, even if she wants to reject you, her body can't. The boss is like a book, when you open the first page, you can turn every page at will. School is about to start. Lin Wei is also going to work. I was very worried when she was at work, and I wanted to go to her company to protect him, but Lin Wei wouldn't let me go. In the morning, Lin Wei and I went out together. She went to work and I went to school to review my lessons. After all, I had given up my studies. Because the car was left outside and not driven into the yard. Actually, we didn't want to stay at home when we came back, but wanted to come back to see the place. So we left the car outside by mistake, which caused a big disaster. That was when we were walking towards the parking lot, talking and laughing. Suddenly a car stopped beside us, and several men in black holding iron bars got out of the car. They got off the car and started hitting us with iron bars. I was not prepared at first. The iron rod hit my shoulder and almost knocked me down. I endured the severe pain and ran forward with gritted teeth. I saw some sticks hitting Lin Wei, and she started crying. I endured the pain and rushed over. The stick hit Lin Wei, and it hurt more than when it hit me. Sister. I hugged Lin Wei with all my strength. The stick hit my head mercilessly. Streams of sticky blood flowed down. Murder. I was covered in blood, and people on the street were shouting and screaming. Many cars stopped. I knew it must be Hanpin who hired someone to do it for us. My body became weak and I was about to collapse. If I collapsed, what would happen to Lin Wei? He used all his strength to hug Lin Wei and ran. Lin Wei's body was very heavy, although her two balls were very soft and elastic. However, her body was getting heavier and heavier. I was hit on the head again. My head was buzzing, my vision went dark, and I almost fell down. At that moment, I was still conscious and I couldn't fall down. If I fell down, I would be beaten to death by these ruthless thugs. The most important thing was Lin Wei. I gritted my teeth and ran forward with all my strength. I was hit several times. At the same time, Lin Wei was also hit several times. My heart ached. One person's spirit can overcome all forces. I don't know how I escaped. When I exhausted my last bit of strength and fell down, I knew I was finished. I won't die here, will I? If they catch up with me, I will be dead. But my consciousness gradually became blurred. Chapter 25 Cooking Skills. I was awakened by the cold wind. Looking at the bleak high-rise buildings, I knew I was not dead. I tried to get up, but couldn't get up after crawling a few times. Although it is the beginning of spring, the cold wind is still blowing. Finally I got up. I thought of Lin Wei. Is she okay? But he saw Lin Wei lying in a pool of blood. Sister, sister. I went crazy at that moment and kept shaking Lin Wei. The ambulance came and lifted us both into the car. Lin Wei was lying on a stretcher, her trouser legs covered in blood. Sister, sister. I kept calling sister all the way. I must take revenge, I must kill Han Pin. The anger in my heart was burning my eyes red. If anything happened to Lin Wei, I would definitely kill Han Pin. Gradually, I lost my strength because I had lost too much blood and passed out. When I woke up, a pungent smell of Lysol filled my nose. Are you awake? Liu Na asked in surprise. I felt pain all over my body, and gradually I regained consciousness. Where's my sister? How is she? Sister Lin is awake. But her leg is broken. Liu Na's eyes turned red and she started crying. What? I sat up immediately. Where is my sister? I pulled the needle out of my hand. Xiaoqiang, are you crazy? Why did you pull out the needle? Liu Na asked in a complaining manner. Tell me, which ward is my sister in? Let's go together. I followed Liu Na to Lin Wei's ward. Lin Wei had a plaster cast on her leg and one leg was in a sling. Sister, I am incompetent and failed to protect me. I deserve to die. I started crying. If this happened again, I would rather be beaten to death by this group of people than let Lin Wei get hurt. Lin Wei's injury touched my heart and it hurt so much. Xiaoqiang, I don't blame you. You are very brave. If it weren't for you, I would be hurt more. You are a real man. I like you. Sister. Liu Na asked in surprise. Lin Wei blushed. Liu Na, you misunderstood. If it weren't for Xiaoqiang, I would have been beaten to death by them. Seeing that I was badly injured, Liu Na believed Lin Wei's words and respected me. I didn't expect migrant workers to be so capable. They are so cool. Now when Liu Na calls me a migrant worker, I am no longer angry, it is just a joke. The first impression of a person is very important. When Liu Na first met me, I really was a migrant worker. What should I do next? This is what I have to think about. I can't just sit there and wait for death. I have to take the initiative. Liu Na, I want to eat grapes and chicken soup. Lin Wei said. I'll go to the restaurant to buy it. Liu Na asked. No need for me to go home and cook for my sister, my cooking is very delicious, I said. I'll go buy ingredients with you. Liu Na said. Sister, you can't leave without someone here. Just wait on me here. I'll bring it to you when I'm done. I don't know how good you are at cooking. You don't buy food from a restaurant, do you? Liu Na didn't believe me. I'll go. If you don't believe me, come with me. I'll let you watch me cook with your own eyes. Liu Na underestimates me. Sister Lin, I'm going home with him, are you okay? It's okay, you guys go ahead, I'm waiting to eat chicken soup and grapes. Liu Na and I bought the ingredients and went to Lin Wei's house. I went into the kitchen and started to get busy. Liu Na came over to help and saw that I was very skilled at cooking. Your cooking posture is quite similar, I wonder how it tastes. It's no use talking now. Wait until it's cooked and then you can eat it. I put all the seasonings in place and turned on the fire. Gradually the aroma of the food began to rise. I'm salivating at the aroma of the food. You know what, this dish is really delicious. Liu Na said with a blushing face. I didn't say anything. I knew the more I explained to her, the less she would believe me. Only time would tell. The aroma of the dishes became stronger and stronger, and Liu Na believed that I could cook. Seeing Liu Na's greedy look, I was secretly happy. I deliberately made her greedy. I opened the kitchen lid, and the aroma of steaming chicken filled the kitchen. Liu Na came over. Give me a bite. Her scarlet lips pouted, looking particularly charming. Chapter 26 Gossiping Driver. Faced with such a beauty, I don't have the strength to refuse. I used a soup spoon to scoop a chicken breast and put it in the soup. Liu Na was tempted by the aroma of the dish. She couldn't wait to pick up the bowl and eat. Don't get burned, I said with concern. Liu Na didn't care whether it was hot or not, my cooking smelled especially good. She pouted her scarlet lips and blew on it while eating. It smells so good. Migrant worker, you really know how to cook. Let's take it to Sister Lin. Liu Na poured the chicken soup and we returned to the hospital. Is it done? Lin Wei asked impatiently. Seeing Lin Wei still thinking about food even though she was injured like this, her optimistic spirit temporarily made me let go of my hatred. When I brought the warming box, the aroma of vegetables wafted out. Xiaoqiang, does the food smell so good? Lin Wei said. I took the spoon and started feeding Lin Wei. Lin Wei's scarlet lips were particularly sexy. I'm leaving. You two can be intimate. Liu Na left jealously. Lin Wei and I were stunned for a moment, and soon we became intimate again. Lin Wei eats a lot, even though her leg is injured. But she eats a lot because the food I cook is delicious. Xiaoqiang, you'd better hide away. I've told you that Han Pin is cruel and ruthless. Don't look for me again in the future. Lin Wei looked depressed. I immediately became angry. I'm going to do him. Listen to me. You are no match for him. After this incident, you know how powerful he is, right? A fire went straight to my heart and quickly rose to my head. I had to take action. I also brought cold weapons and lurked around the fortune hall, observing Han Pin's actions, the times he came in and out, and the rules of where he went. I'm not in a hurry to take action. I'll make my move after I have figured out his whereabouts. The fortune hall is located in the financial center. This area is full of white-collar workers. There are tall buildings, stockings, and beautiful legs. People are coming and going. This was once a place I envied. When I graduated from college, I came here to work. However, I came here not to work, but to do something shady. It's finally here. It's past 5 p.m. and it's getting dark. It's going to be dark soon. I saw Han Pin coming out of the fortune hall. I really want to go over right now and beat his brains out with a club. But I can't do that for now, because there's a very charming and attractive guy following behind him. The boss was wearing a black one-piece skirt. She was tall, with a curvy figure and still had a charming demeanor. Looking at this big shot, I feel like I'm high up on her and I can't wait to take her down. I touched the iron rod in my arms and followed them. I kept my distance from them, fearing that Han Pin would discover me. Han Pin walked towards the parking lot. Now I understand the importance of having a car. Han Pin got into the Land Rover. I needed a car urgently, and if I didn't have one, I would let Han Pin run away. Fortunately, Han Pin got into the car and didn't drive away immediately. A taxi stopped beside me and I hurriedly got in and took out 100 yuan to give to the driver. I'll give you the money from the Land Rover. If it's not enough, I'll give you more. The driver was stunned at that moment. What's wrong? Are you being cheated on? I know that drivers always love gossip. I kept a serious expression and said nothing. I stared at the front and saw that the big guy also got into Han Pin's car. Seeing how cold my face was, the driver didn't dare to say anything. Follow them, I said coldly. The driver started the car and followed. It was at this moment that I realized how important it was to have a car. If I had a car, I wouldn't need a driver. Fortunately, it was the evening rush hour after get off work. There were a lot of cars on the road. The cars were moving and stopping, otherwise the driver's car would definitely not be able to keep up with the Land Rover. I was afraid I had lost my target. I kept my eyes fixed on the front. Don't get lost, I have plenty of money. Don't worry. As long as the money is in place, they can't run away. In fact, the driver understood my mentality. He suspected that my wife was having an affair and thought that the boss who got on the Korean car was my wife, so he didn't dare to say much, fearing that I would be unhappy. Whenever he looked at me, it was meaningful and very gossipy. He wanted to joke with me, but seeing that I looked serious, he didn't dare to mention it. Chapter 27 Revenge. If my wife was acting up, I would be in a state of irritation and extreme behavior would be inevitable. As a taxi driver, I have a certain insight and am very good at observing people's hearts. The driver didn't dare to be negligent and he also kept his eyes closely on the car in front. I thought they were going to a hotel or some residential area, but unexpectedly, the Land Rover drove towards the outer ring road. Brother, did he go to the outer ring road? Asked the driver. Don't worry, I'll give you more money. Hearing this, the driver got excited and followed closely. It was completely dark outside. I could only see the car clearly with the lights. I touched the iron rod in my arms, and at the same time, I felt more confident. The Land Rover drove towards Qinghe, and the taxi followed closely. Since there was no traffic jam, the Land Rover sped up and left the taxi far behind. The driver stepped on the accelerator. You can't let them run away. I became anxious. I'm chasing too, but our car can't do it. Fortunately, the Land Rover did not go up the bridge, but went down the road. They were going to the beach. There was no one on the beach in winter, so what were they doing here in the middle of the night? A man and a woman, they will not do good things. If I catch them, it will be a good weapon to deter Han Pin. Stop the car. I gave the driver 100. Thank you. Come to me if you need this kind of job next time. The driver gave me his cell phone number. I've got it. Why am I in the mood to remember this now? I opened the car door and got out. It was quite dark outside. I saw the taillights of a Land Rover on the beach in the distance. I went over. Gradually the taillights went out. I touched the cold weapon in my arms and walked under the bridge. I came to the front of the car and leaned forward. Oh my God, you finished in 3 seconds. I haven't felt it yet. Liu Lei said in a coquettish voice. Let me rest for a while. When I rest, I will beat you to death. Han Pin said. You only know how to do it with your mouth. Liu Lei laughed at him. In a moment. You'll know when I get hard. You'll have to yell for help. You're just a big talker. I've been waiting for you for such a long time, but you still haven't gotten up. Why don't we go back? If we go back too late, your tigress will go crazy. She doesn't know who to be happy with, and she's not a good person. If I hadn't relied on her father, I would have divorced her long ago. You are not a good person either. Chairman Lin is so good to you, but you actually harmed him. Chairman Lin is a cash cow. Han Pin laughed. Tell me, are you a brave man? Why did you beat Lin Wei? Do you still want the money? Liu Lei asked. Lin Wei and I were really beaten by Han Pin. I got angry and touched the iron rod. You don't know, Lin Wei is not a good person either. Are you still okay? I'm going out to pee. Come back and see how I fuck you. Han Pin said with a grin. The car door opened. Swoosh. I hit him with a stick. It hit Han Pin right on the head. With a thump, Han Pin fell to the ground. I stretched out my hand and grabbed Han Pin's leg, and pulled him out. Then I took the stick and started beating him. At this time, Liu Lei screamed and I opened the car door. Liu Lei was about to reach for her phone. I grabbed her legs. Liu Lei was not wearing anything and was pulled out naked by me. Don't hit me. I beg you, I'll do anything you ask me to do. Liu Lei said hurriedly, shaking with fear. She thrust her chest forward deliberately, trying to seduce me. Damn it, a rubbish boss like this still wants to hook me up. I hit Han Pin a few more times, and he screamed like a pig being slaughtered. The sound could be heard from far away.